Hi, in the workshop this time, I'm going to be keeping the focus fairly narrow in that I'm going to be putting new handles on these clamps right here and a couple of my longer ones as well. I bought 6 of these clamps about a year ago. They were on special, they were fairly cheap, so I picked them up. Now, the biggest problem with these is that the handle that comes on them, this little thing here, is very difficult to grip properly to put good pressure on, and I really like to be able to put some good pressure on. This one here is this very similar clamp. There's not much of a difference at all, but it has this big honking big handle right here that you can really get a good grip on. That's what I like. So I'm gonna make handles similar to this. They're actually similar to the ones that are on my wooden clamps, and I'm going to slip them on over this one and glue and pin them on there. I have more 12-inch clamps with a very similar grip, and I've had these for quite some time, and what I did to try to improve the grip on these was use a product that you dip the handle in, and it's supposed to make a coating on it that makes it easier to grip. I can't remember the name of the stuff now, but you dip it in, you let it dry, and then you got a better grip. Well, that's not the case. This stuff really didn't improve the grip. It didn't make it any thicker like it was supposed to, and it wasn't an improvement at all. So I'm going to be making handles for these ones too. Alright, so here's what I've got. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 12-inch ones, and then, like I said before, I've got 6 of the 6-inch ones. I actually think I have maybe 2 or 3 more of these scattered throughout the compound here, either in the house or in the shed somewhere. So I'm going to make enough handles to do those as well. I'm going to make a total of 15 or 16 handles, so that when I find those extra clamps, then I can just stick them on and glue them in place. Alright, so what I got here is a scrap of wood that I drilled a 7/8 inch hole in. What I want to do is make this as simple as possible. I want the hole big enough that the handle slips right in there with no problem. So I know that these ones fit in there. The other ones with the yellow on the handle, they don't want to go. I don't know if it's because of the yellow that's on the handle. I've actually got one that's not. I've got one that wasn't dipped, and that doesn't want to go either. So I'm going to have to do 15/16 inch holes for these ones. Alright, so here's a 15/16 inch hole, and that's a pretty slack fit in there, but I think it's going to be okay. Let's check the ones with the paint on them, and that just slips in pretty good there. So I'm going to go with that. 7/8 for these ones, 15/16 inch for these ones. To make the handles, I'm going to use this old piece of 2x4. First thing I'm going to do is rip it down the middle. Then I'm going to cut it into strips that are 1 1/8 inch square. Now I've got a stop block set up on my miter saw, and I'm going to cut the handles to 4 inches long. As I'm cutting out the handles, I'm cutting out the defects in the wood. So I wound up with 17 handles from that piece of 2x4, and I'm getting ready to drill the 15/16 inch holes in it with this spade bit. So I got all the 15/16 inch holes drilled. One change I had to make was I had to add a block beside my stop block here because my chuck was hitting that, so I couldn't go deep enough. no big deal. I just moved it over the width of one of the handle blocks and used that as a spacer. Now I've set up the drill press with the 7/8 inch drill bit, and I'm going to drill those holes now. Alright, my workshop is still a bit of a disaster area here. I really haven't had time to clean it up, but I wanted to get out here and get a video for you guys. I know you look forward to those things. And you know what, to be honest with you, I look forward to them too. I like doing these videos, so I figured I'll put cleaning it up off until I'm less busy. And that's a good idea. Let's try to make myself some space. What I need is a helper. So, rather than do it some other way, I've decided to shape the rest of these handles like I normally do. I normally do this anyway. Shape them on my disc sander. I find that that's the fastest, most efficient way to do it. The only thing that I'm really going to do with this is round over the ends a little bit, round over the front just slightly, and knock the corners off and try to round them up on the end here where they slip on. Try to make them look reasonably professional anyways. But this is the squareness that you're going to be able to get a real good grip on. Alright, so I've got all the handles sanded and shaped to the way I want them. I'm not going to do anything else with them. I'm not going to try to finish them or anything. What I really prefer in the forms of a grip is unfinished wood. Wood that has absolutely nothing on it, no oil or polyurethane or anything like that. So I'm just going to glue these on right now. I'm going to start with the big clamps, and I'm going to be using my old faithful polyurethane construction. I'm just going to put that around the handle like so. I'm not going to be too particular about it, and I'm going to get a little bit inside here. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it onto the handle so that it all gets coated. Now, I didn't bother trying to take the yellow paint off, or the yellow, it's Plasti Dip, by the way, that's what it was, I remembered now. I didn't bother to try to take that off. I'm just going to do this and glue this on, and then tomorrow, once it's fully hardened, I'm going to drive a couple of nails through it. Not air gun nails, but drill a hole and drive a nail through, and then cut the nail off. I was counting mostly on the glue to hold this handle in place though, which my experience with my other clamps tells me it won't have a problem with. So I've got a little bit sticking out here on the end. I'm just going to take my finger and smooth that off. This glue goes kind of bubbly a little bit anyway, so there's no point in making it too smooth. So I'm going to leave that. I'm actually going to do the rest of them, and then I'm going to leave them overnight to dry. Okay, so that's it for that one. I hope you enjoyed it. Like I said earlier, I've got a new video tomorrow morning. Once again, it's on the extension boom for the tripod. Even if you're not interested in the project itself, it might be worth watching just for some of the things that I did there to make that. I find that interesting myself. If I'm not actually interested in the project, I would really like to watch somebody make it to see if they do things differently. Also, probably on Sunday morning, I can't guarantee it yet because I still have to edit the video, I'll have another video for my house renovation channel, and that will be covering some of the work I've already done on the roof. Right now, I'm almost up to present day with that channel with the progress on the house. I've got maybe 2 more videos, and I'll be, you can say that I'm actually caught up to where the progress is in the house at this time. So as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.